Banyan Gold is strategic regarding its project development and timing. CEO Tara Christie will catch us up on how the company is executing under the current precious metal bull market. Banyan is ticker BYN on the Venture Exchange. Tara, could you provide us with an overview of Banyan?
Great, thanks for having me here. Banyan is focused on gold exploration in the Yukon. We're very focused on our AurMac project where we think we can continue to deliver value. We put out a new resource in May of 2020 with over 900,000 ounces. So exciting time for us. That's contained in two deposits. We think we see lots of similarities with Victoria Gold. And of course, this mining jurisdiction is very exciting with two mining companies right beside us going into production. And so we are going to continue our exploration on the property through this year and all the way through 2021.
As I said before, I really enjoyed how you're looking at strategically how the market is and then how you're actually developing these projects. Maybe before we get to that though and how you're executing right now, could you take us back through the history? How did these projects fit into Banyan?
Sure. So when Banyan first went public, it acquired the Highland option, which was originally from Strata Gold, which was Victoria Gold. That was back in 2011 and 12. I joined the board at that time, and then fast forward to 2016, I became the CEO. Highland was then the flagship. We did a bit of work in 2017 and 2018 on that project and put out a new resource on it, but really the market wasn't appreciating that project. And I also knew about the Oryx and the McQuestion project, which we now call the AurMac, right near Victoria Gold's Eagle property. And we knew that that jurisdiction, once Eagle started to take off, was going to be very exciting. We knew that this had near surface gold right beside a road, so we set out to option it. And then over the course of the next couple of years, we did exploration work and put together our geological model that we tested in 2019. And then really that was when we knew we had something important. After our first phase of drilling in 2019, we went to our shareholders and then a couple other shareholders, so Alexco and Victoria, our two largest shareholders, but we also pitched to Sprott and Osisko Royalties, saying that we really thought we could see a near surface resource there. Would they fund us? So we funded and we closed that financing in October of 2019. We drilled for about a month and a half, and that's really what led to that resource that we put out this May and has really set us up for 2020 and 2021 now. And I think the market's finally appreciating that it's a significant deposit and it's open in all directions. The airstrip's open. Powerline was a brand new discovery in 2019 and already 129,000 ounces at 0.61. And when you compare the grades of this project to Victoria Gold's Eagle, which their life of mine grade is 0.63, our deposit is very similar in low strip ratio, but if you increase the cutoff grade by 50% to 0.3, the grade goes up by more than 20% to 0.65. So, people are seeing, wow, this is a direct comparable to the heap leach mine that's just 40 kilometers down the road. And I think that's what's really garnering lots of attention.
Let's expand on that as well. How close are you to Victoria Gold and what is that?
So Victoria Gold is Canada's newest gold mine. They're just 40 kilometers away. They'll be a 230,000 ounce producer from their heap leach mine. They just announced commercial production in July. They've already made early debt repayment. So, it's a Canadian success story where a project has been permitted in the modern day. It was financed, built, and now going into operation and past those hiccups that many companies often have. So I think it's great for our industry reputationally to see a success story. And in addition to that, we've got Alexco right next door. They're a very high-grade silver mine underground, but they're a mill that's just 10 kilometers away. So we've got two cash flowing partners that are going to be right beside us. They're also our two largest shareholders, and they're more than that actually. We collaborate both technically and share resources with both Alexco and Victoria. And that gives us quite a strategic advantage because they have the most knowledgeable people about the district and the geology and about the metallurgy and operating heap leach mines in the north. So I think it's really set us up well.
Can you talk about the geology, what you're exploring?
Sure. The airstrip deposit is a near-surface deposit. It's about a 90 to 110 meter thick package of calcareous rocks that's pervasively mineralized. The average grade of that resource at 0.5 seems a little low, but recall what the grade of Victoria Gold's Eagle is. And then to the south, we also have another slightly different intrusion related also into the Highland group of rocks, which is our Powerline deposit. And very excitedly, we have a another area which is about a kilometer east of Power Line, where we think we have another near surface deposit. It's called Alexco. We just finished drilling there. I think that if we can find 3 areas where we have near surface resources, our project will be very desirable to not only our current shareholders who might be interested, but also to other people that are looking at the Yukon as a jurisdiction where you can actually permit, build, and operate mines.
Can you tell us? You talked about your neighbors that were the mines, but also could you tell us about the wider community, who you're with, and what those community relations are?
So the mining industry in the Yukon, you've probably seen from lots of our collaborative mining advertising, and really is quite tight. So we do have neighbors in the exploration business. Our community neighbors is the Nachonaik Dun. The First Nation is a very sophisticated First Nation. They've worked collaboratively with both Victoria Gold and Alexco, and they have businesses that they've developed to support the mining industry. So they're a very important neighbor and partner for us, along with the Yukon government and the broader community. So it's a pretty good jurisdiction to be working in.
Could you tell us about the infrastructure around Banyan?
That's one of the real big advantages for us is we have a main highway that goes right through the property, along with the all-season access road to Victoria Gold. It's actually a Yukon government road, but that's going to allow us to drill well into the fall and start early in the spring because we have roads that are plowed year-round. We also have power. We actually have the main power line, and actually with some of the stimulus money that's being spent right now, that main power line is being upgraded to twice the capacity, which is going to benefit all mining projects and the community in the Yukon. And it's going to be completed, and they hope to energize it by December. So it's not just a political promise, it's actually happening. And it's also the first time I've ever been on a project where I actually have cell phone service at the drill, which is good and bad. It means you're always distracted by your email rather than looking at the rocks. But certainly as this project moves forward, our infrastructure is a real asset in terms of long-term capital costs, and anybody that's looking at this project is certainly going to take notice of that exceptional infrastructure.
2020 has been a bull market for gold. How are you executing under this current environment?
It's been pretty transformative for us. After putting out the resource, we did that financing of $4.7 million, plus we had warrants that were in the money, so collectively that brought in over $6 million. That's allowed us to do 10,000 meters of drilling this year. By the time we're done, we're not quite complete that right now. And it's positioned us to have all our G&A for all of 2021, plus drill 15,000 plus meters next year. So we are positioned like we've never been positioned before to actually be able to execute on our targets, very carefully and scientifically driven, always getting our results and then going back to our targets. But I think we're positioned to deliver some shareholder value, and we may see some dips in the gold price and things through the fall. I think with COVID, I think we're all expecting the unexpected. But overall, I'm a gold bull, as you know, and I think that we're in a tremendous market for gold exploration. So now that we're financed, we can be very focused on executing our strategy, delivering results through exploration and getting dollars into the ground. And I think our shareholders will be pleased with what we have to deliver in 2021.
This is Kitco. Why are you a fan of gold?
Well, I've been a gold bug all my life. I started out in the placer mining business, and it really is what I know in my career. So, but I also believe in it as a long-term store of wealth. We've certainly seen increased interest in gold and gold exploration stories, and with the current economies and what's happening, I personally believe that we're going to see more people go and interested in having gold in their portfolio.
People that are following the Banyan story, what could be potential news? What are you going to be developing over the next 12 months? What could be some catalysts?
So certainly our drill results going into the fall, and labs are slow. I think every exploration company now is experiencing the slow lab turnaround times. That doesn't faze us because we're pretty confident in our plan and our ability to move between targets before needing our results. But in terms of catalysts, our shareholders should expect results all the way through into the new year when we probably start drilling again. COVID and other world events, we plan to start drilling around March of next year. And we'll start with one drill, and then we'll move into having a second drill in June. And I think with that, I think you'll be able to see us deliver some significant results, both expanding airstrip, power line, and also at Oryx Hill, as well as a few other targets on the property. And you probably noticed our news release this year, we also staked an additional property called the Nitra property. We believe it has all the hallmarks of airstrip and power line. We will do some work on that. We expanded our AurMac property. So we now have a very significant land package and lots of exploration targets beyond our 3 primary target areas. So that should generate lots of excitement and value for our shareholders.
You've had a long career in the Yukon, and you've seen it from both sides. You've seen it from the mining side and you've seen it from the placer side. What do you like about the Yukon? What is unique about working there?
The Yukon is a great jurisdiction to work in because it has a predictable regulatory regime. We have First Nations, which have settled land claim agreements in most of the areas, 11 of the 14, which means that you have predictability and also good relationships. I've been there for all my career, basically, and those relationships come with you. Great collaboration between the Yukon government, mining companies, and the broader community. And with COVID, there's lots of space. We've been able to successfully operate. We started drilling in June. We've built trust with the community so that we've been able to continue to operate in a very safe manner, protecting communities. And I think that even with the second wave, because the Yukon is not densely populated and because we've all taken such procedures to protect our crews and communities, I think that you'll see that it's advantageous for people that are doing exploration and mining in the Yukon that they're able to continue to deliver results when other people might end up having to take breaks or significant delays.